Well, here we are with Melissa Bachman inside the hunt. So good to see you,
Great
Melissa.
to see you. Thanks for having me.
I don't know of a better, tougher, well-rounded individual, whether it's a man or woman, that knows anything about hunting. And that's why we want to sit down with you
Well, I
and talk about
appreciate
some of your favorite things to hunt and a hunt that sticks out in your mind. Did you have one of those this past year?
We had a lot of good hunts, and the season started off just phenomenal. You know how you get things started, and you're like, okay, I just hope it goes well. Well, we killed like 4 or 5 big bucks like in those first 4 weeks.
No way.
And I was like, oh, this is gonna be a great season.
Yeah.
But when a lot of my hunting is late and early season, because I've really found that those bucks, I mean, it's just, they're predictable at that time, you know? And I'm out there, I wanna hunt as smart as possible.
Right.
You know, during the rut, it's fun, I'm out there, but things are crazy. Where that early season, I mean, we had pictures of bucks, we went after them, and we got them, you know?
Nice.
And to me, that's what it's like. And even late season, I was out in this last cold spell, and it was -30 out in Illinois. And here I am, my cameraman couldn't make it. I'm out self-filming, took my bike out, had the back crew had a full-size propane tank on the back because I didn't want to get cold in that blind.
Right.
Get out there, and I actually ended up with a frostbite on one of my fingers, so now I don't have fingerprints there.
No way.
But the hunting was absolutely phenomenal. And, I've always liked those kind of extreme hunts because when the weather is that bad, everybody else that's not really a diehard, they all went home.
They're not
And those
going.
deer, they are hungry and they are coming out to the food. And it's just so much fun. And we got a new place in Illinois this year, and we've been managing our land there for 3 years. And we've been trying to grow big bucks, but you know what it's like. It's so fun to do it yourself. But we had one buck we were after, and his rat kind of like came down, and I went there with the goal of killing him. He was the oldest deer there, and I decoyed him in.
Are you serious? So
And,
you
and I got him, yep, and I got him. And it's crazy because when I got up to him, the whole antler is like a loose pedicle, like it's off of his skull. Like you can move it around. We couldn't drag him out by that antler.
Because he would have snapped
Because
it off.
he'd have snapped, it'd have come right off. The skin was all, that's all that
But he was
there.
that way even early.
But he was that way for 3 years. So we think he got hit by a car, and maybe it connected just enough. But my thing is what is this joker doing trying to fight?
And he's still.
And he's still mad.
And think about it, how did he not get into a fight? He had to be the boss.
Oh, yeah, he was the boss of that whole place. And he saw my decoy, and he just marched in, I mean, pretty as you can imagine. And I got him. And, there's a lot of proud moments when you get nice deer you're after. But when you've been managing it and you put all your hard time and effort and every dollar you've ever made to buy the land and then to build it up and get your own buck on it, I mean, it was just such an amazing experience.
100%. And that brings up a good point. Speaking of talking about inside the hunt, you and I grew up, we met many years ago, and then we grew up, I would say, average to, I wouldn't call us broke, but we dreamed of this. You a young lady, I was a young man. It's like, oh man, I love hunting, love fishing. But when you look at it, our goal was always to own a piece of land or a nice lodge or something, a house, or have some land that you could call your own. And then a lot of times you see when people see a show, whether it's mine or yours, like, oh, it must be nice killing a farm deer. Well, I always kind of get offended by that, not because that they can't be right, just saying, okay, was this hunt a little easier? But the hunt itself is not what I consider easy. The hard part is figuring out how to come up with the money, to put the management, the work and sweat equity to get it to the point where you make it decently easy. So I think a lot of times there's a lot of in between that those guys lazily take out of the equation when they put private versus public, is to say, and I put you in the same deal. We worked our butts off. I know your path to get where you're at. There was a time,
we both
you're
did
right.
the same thing.
If we go to the show, we're literally, man, everybody's bunking in one hotel room to make ends meet.
And it was circus.
Like everybody's worried about going to the steakhouse. Like, dude, Burger King. Yeah, Melissa's got some Taco Bell coupons. We can make it.
We can do it.
And so to get to the point where I own a farm, y'all own a farm, congratulations. And I know how hard that is. And so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it just makes it fun, and it's something to go after. I just am a huge believer in goals, whether they're financial goals, whether they're goals for your career, for hunting, have an idea and just every day make those sacrifices to make it happen, because that's really what it takes. It's sacrifices, because
that is.
I'm not super loaded. Nobody is. So you have to pick where you're spending your money, where you're spending your time to make that possible. And when it all comes together, you're like, you know what? 3 years of hard work, we got it done.
We got it done.
It was awesome.
Because it's still hard. You got to make a sacrifice for the hunt. Like I said, going in cold weather, whether it's, like I said, there's just a lot more goes into it. And that's one reason have a chance to sit down and talk with some people here about what goes on inside the hunt, not only the favorite animals you hunt, but kind of dissecting a little deeper. In your case, this old drop time buck. And I don't know, there's just so much and so many memories, but there's so many things that come out when you tag a deer like that, because it's not just that you got a buck. It's on your place, the sweat equity, everything that you and your husband have grinded to get. I don't know. It's just
and
deeper
to show
than
your
the
kids
tag.
that, like for you too, showing Waylon that, you can have, a dream and make it possible. For me,
Yes.
being able to show Jax that and have him watch that and see, and he checks all the trail cam pictures and he's like, oh, the buck's back. Look at
He's
this
taking a
giant.
little ownership
Yeah.
in
Oh,
it. Yeah.
absolutely. Did you get that big buck, Mom?
Yeah.
But why didn't you let me shoot it?
Yeah, exactly. That sounds
Sorry,
like
bud.
Waylon.
But, I just think that there's just so much to it. And spending that time as a family is priceless.
That's cool. Well, that's a cool perspective. And congratulations on all your success, Melissa.
You
You're
as
the
well.
real deal. Always admired and had a lot of respect for you. You've always done it the right way. And so cool y'all been able to celebrate getting a big buck on your own farm. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.